You have to be bold. Okay, so switch on your videos. छुप के बैठेंगे तो कभी नहीं सीखेंगे, है ना? So that's the first step that we need to take. If you're feeling uncomfortable, no, you will tend to get humiliated. So if you're feeling uncomfortable switching on your video, you will tend to get humiliated. First thing is you be comfortable. Okay, अभी सबसे पहले तो ऐसे करो, याद करो जब आप humiliate हुए थे. It could be your school days, college days, the first time you proposed to somebody or somebody proposed to you, और कुछ भी, या प्रिंसिपल का मार खाया आपने, है ना, या लाइफ में पहली बार इंट्रो टॉक दिया और किसी ने भी रजिस्टर नहीं किया, जो कुछ भी हो, whatever your incident, वो इंसिडेंट को याद करो और राइट डाउन. वो इंसिडेंट बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. Write down how you felt. What was the exact feeling at that time? What was happening in your mind at that time? Write that in the chat. Okay, heartbeats got faster. Exactly. Essay, just write down that. Insulted, low, depressed. Bad feeling, don't write bad feeling. Describe the feeling. Lost confidence, low self-esteem, disgusted, angry, okay, headache. That's good. Please describe like this, yes. Felt like committing suicide, okay. Try to justify, feeling very small, okay. रो रहे थे, okay. Felt like crying, loss of self-esteem, too angry, scared, okay. Fast breathing, okay. Yelling. Sinking. जैसे कि लाइफ खत्म हो गई, ओके. Felt ashamed. Didn't want people to see me. Yeah. Wanted to kill people. Okay. किसी को खुद को मारने का था, किसी को औरों को मारना था. Okay, now let us take a next step. तो ये तो उस टाइम पे आपको फील हुआ. You felt very small and depressed and angry and low and insulted, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. After a few moments had passed, or after maybe a few hours, or maybe for some of you few days had passed, if there was something good that came out of this incidents, ये humiliation जो आपने face किया, उसमें से अगर कुछ positive निकला, तो वो क्या निकला, वो लिखो. Wow, wonderful. So for some of you, nothing changed. For a lot of you, a lot of positive things happened. Started to find myself. Superb. Didn't want to take any chance. No change. Fear. Good observations. Very good observations. I felt more stronger. Felt humble. Very nice. I did the Art of Living courses. Okay. Got some experience. Became cautious. Okay. Fear of getting humiliated again. Got lesser. Okay. Fearless. Moved ahead. Spiritual path. Kya baat hai. Felt it's okay. Felt connected. Brilliant. Brilliant. Took action to prevent further humiliation. Self-awareness. Cautious next time. Sudarshan Kriya has helped me deal with it. Very nice. Got a lesson, became strong. Super. तो हम सभी ने ये ह्यूमिलिएशन, अपमान होना क्या होता है, हम सभी इस सिचुएशन से जा चुके हैं, राइट? On the face of it, we label it as a bad incident. For example, to tell you honestly about one of the incidents during my school days, my principal, I was taken to the principal's office because I had become violent with another classmate. So, because of indisciplined conduct, we were sent to the principal's office, and the principal के हाथ का थप्पड़ जब मैंने खाया, वो इतना जोर का था कि जब मैं क्लासरूम में वापस आया, क्लास में किसी को पता नहीं था कि हमको प्रिंसिपल ने थप्पड़ मारा है, लेकिन जैसे ही मैंने क्लास में एंटर किया, प्रिंसिपल के ना फुटप्रिंट्स मेरे गाल पे थे, सॉरी फिंगरप्रिंट, मतलब हाथ का वो मार्क मेरे गाल पे आया था. तो सब लोग इन यूनिसन द होल क्लास शाउटेड, झापड़ खाया. तभी मैं ह्यूमिलेटेड फील किया जब प्रिंसिपल का मार खाया ना. मैं रूम में तो मैं अकेला था, nobody knew about it, right? So what are we trying to protect? Basically, देखो, जब भी ऐसे बाइक चलाते हुए या साइकिल चलाते या रास्ते पे चलते हुए जब हम गिर जाते हैं, suppose something happens, we trip and we fall down, what is the first thing we see? किसी ने देखा तो नहीं, है ना? ये बहुत कंसर्न होता है हम. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to protect our self-image, and that is why we resist humiliation. So Vivek ji, can you now start showing them the points which we have planned out? Why do you resist getting humiliated? Yeah. So see, there could be there could be more reasons. All of you also can add, but this is what I thought are worth sharing with all of you. Yeah. So the first one, you don't want to take a risk. एक सेफ जोन में रहना है, रिस्क नहीं लेना है. एंड व्हाट इज द रिस्क? लोग क्या कहेंगे इज द रिस्क. What did we learn in the happiness program? Do not be a football of other people's opinions. But are we really living that? So हमको रिस्क नहीं लेना है, हमको सेफ खेलना है. क्या कर रहे हैं? हमारी इमेज को प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हैं. Let us see the second point. बहुत बार क्या हमको लगता है, it's the end of the world. Like some of you wrote, felt like committing suicide. It's the end of the world. कुछ insulted feel क्या हो गया, हमको लगता है कि लाइफ खत्म हो गई अभी. Life is very big. It is not about one event. Okay, still in depression. Don't worry. We'll give you the solution to get out of it. Yeah. Next point, third point. You are attached to your comfort zone, and so you want to stay safe and secure in your comfort zone. बहुत कंफर्टेबल है ना. सी, स्टेज पे जाके कुछ करना. स्टेज से याद आया, in my college days when I participated in a singing event on stage and I just went on singing all wrong, my voice started shaking, shivering, and बस लोगों ने चौक नहीं मारे, इतना ही था, but people started laughing, passing comments, and I felt extremely humiliated. This was when I was in the first year, and for 3 years I could not have the courage to go up on stage again. And again, in my final year, I went up on stage again. Yeah. इतना समय लगा उस इवेंट से बाहर निकलने के लिए, 3 years, more than 3 years एक्चुअली। तो क्या है, हमको सेफ रहना है। ऑडियंस में कुर्सी पे बैठ के हम सेफ फील करते हैं, स्टेज पे खड़े होके सबके सामने एक्सपोज कर रहे हैं ना अपने आप को, तभी सेफ नहीं लगता। सो व्हेन यू वांट टू बी सेफ, you don't want to take any chances. Yeah. And the fourth point, you think you are doing well enough, so you need not take any risk. ये एक illusion में रहते हैं हम, हमें लगता है कि जरूरत ही क्या है, नहीं, बट जब वो रिस्क लोगे ना, वो कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकल के वो जो एक कदम डालोगे ना, ऑडियंस की कुर्सी से उठ के, मे बी द स्टेज इज ओनली 10 feet away, but that 10 feet journey sometimes is a very big journey, is a very long journey, it's a very tough journey to complete. But if you complete that journey, even if you do nothing on stage, just standing there, allowing yourself to become the center, allowing yourself to be watched, allowing yourself to be evaluated, allowing yourself to be judged, it is a risk. But ये risk लेने की जो process है ना, that every step, I tell you, is a milestone that you have taken in the journey of your life. And वो बहुत कुछ अंदर से shake कर देता है हमारे, and then something in you awakens when you take that step. पूरी तरह से shake हो जाते हैं ना अंदर से. Every step taken closer to the risky zone or the courage zone. DSN is all about going from the comfort zone to courage zone. So I had this tremendous, discomfort of facing people, and I would often end up in saying something or doing something so stupid, and then I would get humiliated. कभी-कभी हम कुछ तो joke crack करने को जाते हैं, and nobody laughs on that joke, and it becomes a major humiliation. There are various ways you can get humiliated. Sometimes you just go blank, right? When I attempted to sing, my hand started shivering so much. मेरा hand इतना shiver हुआ कि mic मेरे हाथ से गिरने लग गया. And I was full of sweat. मेरे palms पूरे गीले हो गए थे पसीने से. वो mic slip हो रहा था. And the song I was singing, I just forgot the tune. I did something stupid, right? So you think you are doing well enough, but वो एक step लेने के बाद ही आपको पता चलेगा कि you are well enough was not that. Your well enough is much bigger than what you thought it was. So you might be getting stagnated in life if you are not giving yourself the chance to get humiliated. I remember Gurudev in one of his talks, this was in a satsang happening in the amphitheater in the ashram. He said, getting humiliated is the biggest fear. And that restricts people from progressing in life. So there is something you can do about it. For me, it was the DSN course, which gave me the strength to be able to take that bold step. कि मैं आया मेरे comfort zone के बाहर. This is what happened with me. Any of you who have done the DSN here, if the same thing happened to you also, that DSN gave you that strength to take the bold step from the comfort to the courage zone, you can just type DSN in the chat. If this is your experience, truly. If not, then forget about it. If this is your experience, then you can write in the chat DSN. But yeah, same pinch to all of you, because this shift happened in my life. DSN plus. Avesh. Okay. All बढ़िया. See, so many people here who have gone through that powerful program. Okay. Now, like all of you typed in the chat, after a few days, when you thought over as a flashback to the whole process where you got humiliated, and there are so many positive things you wrote. So let us see, what good does humiliation do? See, it allows yourself to expose and confront. Confrontation is very much necessary. If you really want to progress in life, Gurudev, in one of his talks, Conversations with the Master, he says, you need to be authentic. If you are authentic, you will confront yourself. Authenticity and intensity. These two things he mentions, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. The talk, Conversations with the Master. You might have. Actually, I would strongly recommend watch that whole talk. I'm sure it's there on YouTube. Conversations with the Master by Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Authenticity and intensity. These two things are extremely important. Even if you're miserable, Gurudev says, be intensely miserable and be authentic about it. Okay, yes, I'm miserable. I've been doing Sudarshan Kriya for 20 years, but still I'm feeling miserable right now. हो सकता है, it's okay. मैं साधना कर रहा हूं, मेडिटेशन कर रहा हूं, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे गुस्सा आया. Be authentic. So only when you confront yourself, you will know what is the plus and minus of your personality. खुद को वो एक्सपोजर देना पड़ेगा, तभी पता चलेगा what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses. स्ट्रेंथ्स जब खुद के पता चलेंगे तभी तो हम उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं अपने लाइफ में. Like all those times I thought that I cannot talk and I cannot sing, but I allowed that exposure. I confronted myself. 15-20 times I failed miserably, got humiliated. But then there was something in me which was telling me, "Nahi, let's go for it again." मैं खुद को confront करते रहा. Today I can sing in front of an audience of even 5,000 people. I have given talks to an audience of 1 lakh plus people. You know, Gurudev was kind enough to give me that opportunity in his program. You know, that's why there were 1 lakh plus people. Okay, yeah. Next point, keeps you humble and grounded. Again, I noticed one of you mentioned that what was the positive thing that came out of it? Because sometimes, you know, either there is we don't take a risk when there is an inferiority complex. Sometimes we can get arrogant because of the superiority complex. Both can happen. जो इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स में है, जिसका सेल्फ एस्टीम लो है, वो जब अपने आप को ये रिस्क लेके मौके देगा तो उसका सेल्फ एस्टीम ऊपर उठेगा. और जो सुपीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स में है, जो एरोगेंस में जा रहा है, वो जब ये रिस्क लेगा और जब उसको पड़ेगी तब उसका एरोगेंस ठिकाने पे आ जाएगा. That arrogance gets converted into humility. You get grounded, right? So this is very important. When you are humble, you will start learning from others. And when you start learning from others, then you will grow in life. Otherwise, you will stop learning from others, right? Next point. Every humiliation uncovers an aspect of your personality. This is, I mean, I've experienced this so many times. You know, I had taken up a project of organizing a huge youth program in Maharashtra, in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, and it was just not moving ahead. मुझे एक था कि अरे ये तो मैं कर सकता हूँ शुरू में. बाद में मैं रियलाइज करने लगा ये मैं नहीं कर सकता. But now I had already come too far. There was no looking back. There was no way I could have given up. And I realized that certain skills or talents which I thought I never had, those had started sprouting in me. I was interacting with people of various strata in society, right from IAS officers to politicians to the top businessmen to vice chancellors to college principals to students to CEOs of companies to HR heads of companies to businessmen, entrepreneurs, housewives, students. So every time I was taking a risk, there was money put on stake. Different aspects. I had to do negotiation with people. I had to enroll people. I had to sell my idea to people. Different aspects of I had to organize things. There was a lot of logistics that was involved. I had to put up a team together. I was learning team management. I had to become a role model for the people who were looking up to me. I was becoming an inspiration for them. The leadership aspect of me was growing. The management aspect of me was growing. The time management skill was growing. The people management skill was growing. The people interaction skill was growing. The sales skill in me was growing. The negotiation skill in me was growing. So different aspects of my personality were getting uncovered. It was only because I agreed that, oh, it's okay even if I get humiliated, but I want to take this step. And that is how, जब भी ये करते हैं तभी तो एक well-rounded personality बनने लगती है. Number 4, Yeah, it's a launch pad for further evolution. जब तक ह्यूमिलेट नहीं होंगे ना, तब तक वो इंट्रोस्पेक्शन नहीं होगा कि मुझे एक्चुअली क्या करना चाहिए, कहां कम पड़ गया मैं. ये इंट्रोस्पेक्शन होना जरूरी है. Where was I lacking? What could I have done better? What is it that the others have done that they did not go through the similar situation like mine, but long ago they went through the similar humiliation. Nobody becomes a star, in the first attempt. It's never like that. Lata Mangeshkar was rejected from 1942 to 1949. For 7 years, she was only humiliated. There were a lot of comments passed on her voice. पतली है, दाल भात वाला accent है, ये है, वो है, ये तो बॉलीवुड में टिकेगी नहीं, इनको बस लोकली गाना चाहिए, लंबे रेस में फेल हो जाएगी, वगैरह वगैरह. लता मंगेशकर, the lady who ruled Bollywood singing for 70 years. Perhaps the greatest singer the planet has seen. Yeah, but she had to go through such humiliation. Yes, point number 5. So evolution. If you are not getting humiliated, you are not growing. If you are not getting humiliated, you are not growing. यानी कि आप अपने छोटे से घोंसले में ही उछल कूद कर रहे हो, घोंसले के बाहर निकल नहीं रहे. You are in a small shell. You are swimming in a pond. नदी में कूदे ही नहीं अभी तक, वो कैसे करेंगे? It's an indication. If you are not got humiliated in the last few weeks, then it's an indication you are not growing. Yeah. So better do your best to get humiliated. Are you getting what I'm saying? Okay. Now, what not to do while getting humiliated? This is the mistake which most people do. These are the mistakes. See, whatever I'm sharing here with you is from my past 25, 30 years of experience of doing the wrong things and doing the right things. Okay, na? Yeah. Point number 1. Do not retaliate. It's not a fight that you have to do. कोई fight नहीं है यहाँ पे. Retaliation का कोई उपयोग नहीं है. This is the mistake which most people do, and that is why they miss taking the lesson. And Gurudev defined mistake as when you miss taking the lesson, that's the mistake. What's the mistake you do in life? When you miss taking the lesson, that's the mistake. If you go into retaliation, you will miss taking the lesson. Point number 2, being defensive. You try to defend. Either you go into offense or you go into defense. दोनों भी गलत है. दोनों भी गलत है. डिफेंड भी नहीं करना है. ड्रॉप योर डिफेंसेस. जब आप अपने आप को डिफेंड करोगे तो क्या होगा? आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा आपने क्या गड़बड़ किया. आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा. Correct? So you have to drop your defenses. Don't be defensive. Number 3. Don't give explanations to you. चलो, लोगों के सामने तो आपने डिफेंड नहीं किया, लोगों के सामने रिटेलिएट नहीं किया, फिर आप क्या करते हो? रात को जब बेड पे लेटे हो सोने के लिए, तो खुद को जस्टिफाई करते हो. You start giving explanations to yourself. नहीं, बट गलती तो उसकी थी, मैं तो थोड़ी, मेरा तो कुछ था ही नहीं, उन्होंने गलत इंटरप्रेट किया. They misunderstood me totally. वो तो उनको मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं, वो तो मेरा बड़प्पन है. You know, all these things. Do not give explanations to yourself. Don't justify. Digest the bitter truth. Digest the bitter truth. It is difficult, but digest the bitter truth. When you digest the bitter truth, something beautiful will emerge from you. Number 4. Do not give up your efforts. एक बार humiliate हो गए तो क्या हो गया? Do not give up your efforts. Attempt again. एक बार fail हो गए, attempt again. You will pass. You will pass in fine colors. It's okay. So do not give up your efforts. हार नहीं माननी है. Humility doesn't mean being defeated. Being humble is different. Being defeated is different. Resignation नहीं करना है. Getting up again after you have failed is success. Failure or success is not failure or success. Getting up again after you have failed is success. Right? So when the failure doesn't get into your heart, that is success. And when success doesn't get into your head, that is success. I'm repeating. When the failure doesn't get into your heart, that is success. When the success doesn't get into your head, that is success. Right? So do not give up your efforts. Okay, next. So what to do when you get humiliated? How can you emerge as a better version of yourself? गुरुदेव ने 2 शस्त्र दिए ना हमको. So what? So what if you get humiliated? Everybody is going to die. The person who gets humiliated is also going to die, and the person who humiliated someone else is also going to die. Everything is temporary. So what? And it's a phase, it's a milestone on a long, long journey. Yeah. So this knowledge, so what? तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? If this doesn't work, so hum definitely works. Sudarshan Kriya, daily practice of Sudarshan Kriya, that will definitely work. Okay, point number 2. Surrender your scars. Very, 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 very important. See, there's a difference between resignation and surrender. You don't have to resign from your heart, but you have to surrender your scars. Do not let the wound grow deeper. Surrender it. Just give it up. अगर आपसे वो किसने लिखा था ना, I'm still feeling depressed. You are not surrendered your scars yet. Again, here is where, see, in all these points, actually the DSN is going to help you. जिन्होंने DSN किया है, I'm sure you are able to correlate this, that when you did the DSN, you were able to do all this, what I have been explaining to you, why you resist humiliation, what not to do when you get humiliated, what to do when you get humiliated, you know, what good comes out of humiliation. Yeah. Those who have done the DSN, if you agree and if you are able to relate, either type agree or type relate in the chat. Either type agree or type relate in the chat. Those who have done the DSN program. If you can relate to this, only then just type agree or relate in the chat. Strongly agree. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. So surrender your scars. How do you surrender your scars? You can only surrender to a power which is higher than you. Right? So when you have that devotion, when you have जो एक श्रद्धा होती है ना, एक ऐसी अद्भुत शक्ति में जो आपसे बहुत बड़ी है, जो अनंत है, जो इनफाइनाइट है, उस शक्ति को ईश्वर कहो, गुरु कहो, सृष्टि, नेचर कहो, यूनिवर्स कहो, जो आपको कहना है कहो. Right? When and if you have a guru, then I tell you are very, very lucky. It is easier to surrender to the guru. When you see that divinity incarnated in flesh and blood, it becomes easier to relate to it. It becomes easier to surrender. So when you surrender your scars, you are fresh. It's like being untouched. And point number 3. Learn your lesson and prepare better for the next time. So obviously you're not going to give up your efforts. You're going to learn your lessons and prepare better for the next time. Yeah, next. So what is the humiliation solution triangle? Yesterday in heartbreaks, it was a square. It was a solution square. Today we have a solution triangle. So point number 1, drop your self-image and go beyond it. ये जो self-image है ना, इसको जिसको पकड़ के रखा है. See, everybody wants to be a nice person. Why? Be a good person. Don't be a nice person. Be a good person. Do what is good for you, even if you don't feel nice about it. Are you getting it? Don't try to be a nice person. Be a good person. Do what is good for you and good for others, even if you don't feel nice about it. Taking a bitter medicine doesn't feel nice, but it does good to you. So doing the good thing, the right thing is more important than doing those things which make you feel nice. So ये self image है ना, you want to have a nice image in the other people's eyes. कितना अच्छा आदमी है ये, सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए हमको लोगों से. इसके लिए फिर हम ह्यूमिलिएशन से डरते हैं. जिसने अपने सेल्फ इमेज को ही ड्रॉप कर दिया, जिसको अपने सेल्फ इमेज की कोई परवाह नहीं है, वो कैसे ह्यूमिलिएट हो सकता है? So then you will go beyond humiliation if you are ready to drop. Understand that your image is very temporary and it is very superficial. It's very temporary and very superficial. ज़्यादा देर नहीं टिकता. Right? Number 2, surpass your limits. Surpass your limits. Today you think you are, 4 on 10 or 6 on 10. You surpass your limits. You go from 4 to 7. You go from 6 to 9. Surpass your limits. To surpass your limits, you might have to face situations which might be humiliating. But only if you allow yourself that, you will be able to surpass your limits. Otherwise, you will remain in your limits. You will never surpass your limits. Number 3, playing multiple roles helps you evolve into a multi-dimensional personality. Do something new. What new have you done in the last 6 months, or in the last 1 month, or in the last 1 week? See, when you were a child, when you were 5 years old, from the age of 5 to 15, from the age of 5 to 15, you were doing new things every week. Your learning curve from the age 5 to 15 was at its peak. You learned 3 or 4 languages. You learned numbers, you learned mathematics, you learned so many different formulae, you learned chemical equations, you learned the laws of physics, you learned about the human body, you learned so many things. From 15 to 25, you did not learn as much. From 25 to 45, you haven't learned even 10% of what you learned in 5 to 15. What is happening? Why this learning is dropping down? It's not because of age. Brain तो है ना? Brain तो काम कर रहा है. ये learning क्यों drop हो रहा है? क्योंकि हम नई चीजें नहीं कर रहे. हम वही चीजें बार-बार कर रहे हैं. That is why learning is dropping. As long as you learn, you remain young. As long as you do new things, you learn. And as long as you learn, you remain young. So if you want to remain youthful, no matter your age, if you want to have that youthful spirit, you want to maintain the enthusiasm that you are, you have to do new things. That's another full form of the DSN course. Do something new. Do something new. Right? So all these 3 things are very beautifully designed, incorporated in the design of the DSN by Gurudev. Dropping your self-image and going beyond it, taking that risk, going from that comfort zone to the courage zone, surpassing your limits. You think that I can do, all your limits are in your head. Oh, मैं तो स्टेज पे जाके गा नहीं सकता. I lived with that limit for 4 to 5 years. मैं तो नहीं कर सकता, मैं तो नहीं कर सकता, मैं तो नहीं कर सकता. It made me feel so small. It gave me such an inferiority complex. Finally, I surpassed my limits. Something had to happen from inside. And multiple roles. देखो कितने क्या रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं आप आपके लाइफ में. 1 हाथ 2 रोल्स होते हैं prominent. आप 1 या 2 रोल ही प्रोमिनेंटली प्ले करोगे तो आपकी लाइफ ऐसी छोटी ही रहेगी. एक्सपैंड, प्ले मल्टीपल रोल्स. ऐसा रोल पर स्टार्ट करो जो आपने अभी तक नहीं प्ले किया आपकी लाइफ में. If you have never been the secretary of your society, take up that role. If you have never been a volunteer in art of living, take up that role. If you have never planted trees, take up that role. Do something to plant trees. If you have never gone to a hospital and helped some patient, go do that. It opens up some new life in you. You know what? When the bomb blast had happened in Jaipur, long ago. We went to several hospitals to give blessing to people, to just talk to their relatives, be with them, offer them our time and help. And we gave blessings to lots of patients. And there were miraculous experiences of recoveries of patients. And when the relatives, nothing we did, ऐसा कुछ बड़ा हमने किया नहीं, जाके बस बोला, we are there to help you, don't worry, क्या चाहिए बोलो. ये इतना बोलना उनके लिए इतनी बड़ी बात थी कि कोई स्ट्रेंजर आके उनको पूछ रहा है कि मैं आपकी मदद कर सकता हूं. But that opened a new dimension in my life. मुझे लगा, I felt that there is a goodness in me, and there were so many people who were doing these good things. There is so much goodness in the whole world. हम बोलते हैं कितना बदल गया इंसान, भलाई का जमाना नहीं रहा, सब कॉन्सेप्ट्स है. There is a lot of goodness in this world. And then when your faith in the world, in the divine power increases, you grow as a person. Right? Okay, so let's quickly do some of your suggesting, and yes, even I was anyway about to do it. Vivek, let's quickly do a recap from the first slide to the last. And shortly we'll take questions, whatever questions. So why do you resist getting humiliated? You don't want to take a risk. You think it's the end of the world. बस खत्म हो गई, मेरी दुनिया खत्म हो गई यहाँ. या आप अपने कंफर्ट जोन में ही एक छोटे से शेल में रहना चाहते हो, सेफ्टी को प्रायोरिटी देते हो, सेफ रहना है, राइट? आपको लगता है कि आप ऑलरेडी अच्छा कर रहे हैं, बट दिस कुड बी अ बिग इल्यूशन. अच्छा नहीं कर रहे, आप क्या वहीं के वही हो, आगे बढ़ नहीं रहे आप. Okay, so what good does humiliation do to you? It allows you to expose yourself to a bigger and more challenging environment, allows you to confront yourself. तभी हम खुद के भीतर झांक सकते हैं, जो अपने आप को मौका देते हैं तो. और तभी हमारे भीतर जो खूबियां हैं वो बाहर व्यक्त होना, उनकी अभिव्यक्ति शुरू हो जाती है. इट कीप्स यू हम्बल, एक नम्रता आ जाती है जीवन में. जमीन पे रहते हैं हम, है ना, चने के झाड़ के ऊपर चढ़े रहते हैं कभी कभी. या दो एक्सट्रीम्स पे होते हैं लोग, या तो कुछ लोग अपने आप को कम समझते हैं, या तो कुछ अपने आप को लोगों से ज्यादा समझते हैं. तो ये दोनों का न्यूट्रलाइजेशन हो जाता है. एवरी ह्यूमिलेशन अनकवर्स एन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर पर्सनैलिटी. आपकी पर्सनैलिटी का एक अलग अंग इसमें से पॉलिश होने लगता है. इट्स अ लॉन्च पैड फॉर फर्दर इवैल्यूएशन. जब रियली मनन होने लगता है ना, एक स्वाध्याय चिंतन करने लगते हैं ना आप, ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ आपके साथ तो बहुत चिंतन होता है, उसी से लाइफ आगे बढ़ती है, इवोल्यूशन हैपेंस. एंड इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग ह्यूमिलेटेड, यू आर नॉट ग्रोइंग, है ना. सो क्रिएट सिचुएशंस दैट देयर इज अ चांस फॉर यू टू गेट ह्यूमिलेटेड. या अच्छा, तो क्या नहीं करना है? रिटेलिएट नहीं करना है, ऑफेंसिव मोड में नहीं जाना है, डिफेंसिव मोड में भी नहीं जाना है, खुद को एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं देना है. वो जो कड़वा सच है हजम करना है उसको, और हमारे प्रयासों को छोड़ना नहीं है. प्रयासों को छोड़ना नहीं है. वो जो नेगेटिव फीलिंग है उसको त्याग दो, प्रयत्न को त्यागो मत. ड्रॉप द negative feeling of the low feeling, you can drop, right? Surrender your scars, but don't drop your efforts. उल्टा करते हैं लोग, स्कार्स को पकड़ के रखते हैं, एफर्ट्स को ड्रॉप कर देते हैं. Wrong formula, right? Okay, so what is the two weapons we have? So what? So hum, correct? And when you do the DSN, when you learn the Padma sadhana and your meditation starts going deeper, so after Sudarshan Kriya, when you start meditating deeper because of the power of the Padma sadhana and the different processes we go through in the DSN, then you will realize that so what becomes very easy. कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. जिन चीजों का पहले डर लगता था उसका कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. And then third, learn your lesson and prepare better for the next time. Correct? So what's the solution triangle? 3 points. सेल्फ इमेज में अटक के नहीं रहना. वो सेल्फ इमेज ड्रॉप करो उसको. आप जितना फ्री रहोगे उतना आपके एक्शंस पावरफुल होंगे. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. आप जितना फ्री रहोगे उतना आपके एक्शंस पावरफुल होंगे. अगर आपके एक्शंस पावरफुल होंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली you will command respect. You will not have to be insecure of your self image. You will not have to protect your self image. Your actions will be such, people will have no choice but to respect you. You will command respect. So drop this self image, prioritize your freedom. Only then you will go beyond, right? Number 2, surpass your limits. जितना अब कर सकते हैं उससे ज्यादा, right? And number 3, जो रोल नहीं प्ले किया है अभी तक लाइफ में उसको प्ले करो, नई चीजें करो. See if you can go back to the same learning speed when you were between 5 to 15 years of age. इतना कुछ सीखा आपने, अभी आप सीख सकते हैं क्या? कैसे सीखोगे? नई चीजें करके सीखो. सेम चीजें दोहराओगे उससे नहीं होगा, नई चीजें करनी पड़ेगी. एंड नई चीजें करोगे तो नई चीजें सीखोगे, सीखते रहोगे तो यंग रहोगे. दैट इज एंटी एजिंग का फॉर्मूला है ये. learn new things and do new things. If you do new things, you will learn new things, right? So this is what actually, this solution triangle is what the DSN is in a nutshell, right? तो April 14 to 17 जो हम DSN करने जा रहे हैं ऋषिकेश में, और ऋषिकेश में जब DSN करते हैं तो एस्पेशली ज्यादा मौके मिलते हैं ये सब करने के, right? So you must register for it. Yeah, we are having this event also. We will watch this event very soon now. Okay. Now, a few questions. We can take about 4 or 5 questions. So type the questions in the chat.
Salil bhaiya, ek request hai. Can we do the DSN form first and maybe 5-7 minutes back we can do questions?
So quickly show the form. Yeah, so just post the link of the. देखो ये जो registration form है ना थोड़ा सा complicated है, so we have created a short form. So it is like you are filling up your interest. Those who are interested in joining the DSN in Rishikesh, April 14 to 17, 4 days, all days are holidays. 14th is Ambedkar Jayanti, 15th is Good Friday, 16th is Saturday, 17th is Sunday. Okay? You fill up this form, Google form, which Vivek will post. It's a short form, just name, phone number, email address. And then बाकी का form कैसे भरना है, detail वाला, the registration form, वो आपको हमारी टीम में से कोई समझा देगा. But I would strongly recommend कि आप लोग ये form भरो. And
so we have posted the form. It has just name, email, phone number and city.
Correct. बस इतना भर दो आप. जो लोग DSN कर चुके हैं, see गुरुदेव बोलते हैं ना, you have to keep repeating level 2 courses. Advanced course साल में 2 बार करना चाहिए. DSN course 2 साल में 1 बार करना चाहिए. ठीक है? मैं तो एडवांस एंड DSN दोनों 2 बार करते रहता था साल में. तो I mean then everyone is humiliated by cheating. देखो लॉ के बारे में तो मैं नहीं बता सकता. व्हाट कोर्ट प्रोसेस. What if people are not accepting our ideas in spite of our good knowledge in the subject? See, if you are confident of yourself, see, just imagine if Lata Mangeshkar comes and sings in front of us some, very hi-fi classical stuff, and none of us understand it, and we just are with dumb expressions on our face, totally blank, and the song gets over and nobody claps, nothing happens. Will Lata Mangeshkar get disappointed? She will feel compassionate. बेचारे कुछ समझे ही नहीं लोग, ऊपर से चला गया. Are you getting it? If Einstein comes and explains a great mathematical equation and we don't understand anything of it and we don't reciprocate, will Einstein feel bad about it? So when you are confident about something, you will not feel bad about whether someone takes your idea or doesn't take your idea. If you're confident, how does it matter? समझ रहे हैं बात? So if you think you have good knowledge, then why are you getting affected whether others are accepting your ideas or not? They are not accepting because it's their loss. What do when relatives insult you, especially when your parents have been over pampering them because they don't want relations to somehow sustain, they just don't want to listen to you? They will logical. See, a society na basically is a football of others' opinions. You don't get carried away because of that. a weak mind gets influenced. A strong mind gets inspired. So you don't have to get influenced by that. I want to do it now. My setback is how can I reach alone there? Well, you will not be alone. Even if you are in a train or a bus or an aeroplane, there will be so many other people with you. And there are so many people who are coming exclusively for the DSN from all parts of India. So Vidya Pawar, you can just write from which city you are from and you can write your phone number and we will put you in touch with someone from that same city. Okay. I have registered for me and my son Ashish. Congratulations. Wonderful. I already filled up the form. Sanya, very good. Thank you for the time and session. Most welcome. If unnecessary humiliation at court, okay, then proper answer to showcase our true identity, else they continue cheating innocent. Okay, well, I am not an expert in law, so I won't be able to say anything about that. Anyone from Faridabad going to Rishikesh? Faridabad is very close to Delhi, and there are a lot of people going from Delhi. So just tag along with the Delhi people. From Nagpur. See, Saren, you also post your phone number. Mention your city and phone number so that we can put you in touch with the right person. The other people who are coming from the same city. Okay. Any other questions people have?
सलिल भैया एक आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन अबाउट लोकेशन. तो जब आप लोग रजिस्ट्रेशन कंप्लीट करेंगे तो वी विल ऐड यू टू आवर व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप एंड वहां पे वी विल कनेक्ट यू टू द पीपल ऑफ योर सिटी.
Correct. And why don't you mention what is the special thing about this DSN, Vivek?
Yeah. So there are two things that are special. First is, like you can see on the screen, the environment and the aura will be completely different. Because DSN एक city में करना versus DSN ऋषिकेश में करना at the same price, there's a huge difference. So other than the DSN, the optional activities that all of us will be doing together are like river rafting and Ganga dip. So that's the first difference. The second is we want to give a few bonuses. कितने लोग हैं जिनको deals और offers लेने में बड़ा मजा आता है? How many of you love free gifts? Just write gift in the chat. And there are a few free gifts that we want to give you only to those people जो अभी form भरने वाले हैं. So write gift in the chat. Let's see how many of you guys like having gifts. Okay. So Manjari and few other people who are writing. These are the bonuses that we want to give you. See, anything if you want to do in your life, you need to turn that great thing into a habit. Only then it will give you great results. So Salil Bhaiya has created a course called as Personally Guided 21-Day Habit Installation Protocol. कितने लोग हैं यहाँ पे जिनको लगता है कि मैं और habit forming बन सकता हूँ? I need to have good habits. So this is for you. You get this absolutely free of charge if you enroll for the DSN program. So fill that form right away. There are two bonuses by Salil Bhaiya's wife, Ila Polekar ji. And it's the first one is 1 week body strengthening yoga class. And the second one is 1 week premium weight loss Zumba classes. So let's all be honest. All of us can agree that we can improve when it comes to physical fitness, correct? So she's an expert in weight loss and yoga and Zumba, as well as other fitness and healing modalities like CST, etc. And she brings to you these gifts. Okay. So जितने भी लोग हैं जो अभी भी सोच रहे हैं कि करूं ना करूं, I'm sharing the form once again. इस form को भरो. We will send you the DSN registration details and enroll for it. Out of the 55 seats available, close to 35 we have already filled it. Okay, so only a very few seats are left. So go ahead, take action right now.
After AMP, time difference for DSN program required? Nothing like that. You can do both courses back to back, Monday to Wednesday, Thursday to Sunday. Both courses are completely different.